Alrighty, YouTube, Niner Empire, what is going down here? Welcome back to another video. So, obviously, Super Bowl opening night was last night. Players, coaches spoke with the media, answered questions. A lot of Niner faithful, Niner fans out there, which is kind of expected because San Francisco to Las Vegas is actually not a long drive whatsoever. And I definitely expect there to be more Niners fans in this Super Bowl, I think, than Chiefs fans. And that's simply just because the Niners haven't won it in a long time. The Chiefs have kind of been there. San Francisco is more close to Vegas than the Kansas City is. A lot of factors that kind of go into that. But, yeah, man, I mean, the Chiefs came out and you could hear the Niner fans just booing the hell out of them, booing Mahomes and Kelsey when they got up and spoke. So, pretty glad to see a lot of Niners fans in attendance for opening night last night. But one thing to take away, or I guess the first thing to take away from opening night was Kyle Shanahan may or may not have been a little sauced before going in and answering some of these questions from reporters, which it's kind of being taken two different ways. Like, a lot of people don't think it's a good look because he hasn't won the Super Bowl yet and that he should be preparing and things of that nature. Other people are kind of saying, like, hell yeah, that's my coach. He seems more calm. You know, he seems more collected. He doesn't seem as nervous as he was in 2020. You know, let him live and this and that. And I'm kind of more on that side. Like, I think that it's great that he may have been a little buzzed going into the opening night, I guess you could say. Here's the thing: the Niners have they have an off day today, which I don't think a lot of people know that. But they're not practicing or anything today. Now, are they still preparing? Like, is Kyle still preparing? You know, his game plan and things of that nature. He might be, probably. Why wouldn't he be? I mean, we're 5 days away from the Super Bowl, but they have an off day today. He's in Vegas. If anything, this is a good sign for the Niners. He seems more confident. He seems more calm. He's having fun. Like, that's a very good sign, in my opinion, for the Niners going into this game. So I don't know why fans are kind of making this to be a big deal. I get it. Obviously, I want to win the Super Bowl too, don't get me wrong. But I also think that seeing this side of Kyle Shanahan that we've never seen before in the biggest game of his life, like, I like it, man. I think it's great. Like, he's enjoying himself. He's having fun, clearly. So, I mean, a lot of people are saying that this is a bad thing. I don't think it is whatsoever, man. Again, let the guy enjoy himself. His team's in the Super Bowl. This is his third Super Bowl appearance, second as a head coach. Obviously, he's got to get the job done and things of that nature. But, look, man, and you got to give the guy some slack. Like, he had 2 hours worth of interviews last night. He probably don't want to sit there and you know, answer questions nonstop for 2 straight hours. So why not have a couple drinks at the team's hotel before you leave to go to the stadium? Let loose, have a little bit of fun. Kyle's going to be fine. If there's anybody, I wouldn't want a single coach out there going into the Super Bowl other than Kyle Shanahan. Like, that's our coach. Utmost confidence in him to do it all, to win it all. Again, I don't think it's something that needs to be blown out of proportion, but a lot of people don't like it. I get it. You guys, I mean, he hasn't got the job done yet. I get that. But it gives me a sense of confidence knowing that he's a little more loose this go around. He's more confident. I think that's the biggest thing to take away. Like, I think that he just seems way more loose, confident, collected, calm. Like, I'll take that Kyle Shanahan over like a, you know, straight kind of dialed Kyle Shanahan. That's not like nobody's ever seen this side of Kyle Shanahan ever. He's always kind of super serious. Like, it's always good to see your coach let loose a little bit before going into a Super Bowl. I think it just seems like he's more calm, again, collected, confident. So I don't think it's anything bad, to be honest, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Obviously, I understand why people are kind of making, you know, this out to be a negative more than a positive, but I've watched numerous Kyle Shanahan interviews since he's become the 49ers head coach, and I can definitely say I've never seen Kyle Shanahan talk the way he was talking last night, and there was a couple times where he was slurring and things. I thought it was funny, to be honest. I love it. But, yeah, Brock Purdy spoke with the media. One thing that sticks out about Brock Purdy and really kind of always has ever since he's taken over as the Niners starting quarterback is he's so humble, man. Like, the way he answers his questions, very well-rounded dude, true professional, super happy that guy's our quarterback for the next 10 to 15 years. At least that's the expectation. But Michael Robinson of NFL Network asked him a question about if he knows the 8 quarterbacks selected in front of him, and where those quarterbacks went to school. And Brock Purdy was like, I'm not that type of guy. Like, I think everything happens for a reason. I think I was drafted here for a reason. And it's just like that small stuff right there, like the way he carries himself, the way he talks. I love him, man. I think he's great. I think he's great talking to the media, professional. He's a baller. He's a dog. Kyle Shanahan even was asked by Michael Robinson what he thinks about Brock Purdy and kind of when he figured out that Brock Purdy was going to be the starter. And Kyle Shanahan, being buzzed, answered the question and basically said, like, he's a dog. That's another thing, too. Like, that's kind of how I knew Kyle Shanahan was a little buttered going into last night. Like, his word choice, and he was very short and to the point. Not really short, but he was very to the point. He answered questions really well, to be completely honest. But, yeah, like I said, I mean, a lot of people kind of mixed emotions on that Kyle Shanahan thing. Everything is going to be fine, man. Like, I don't think there excuse me, I don't think there should be like any worry in the world. But on top of that, they were also asked about the field conditions, the 49ers practice field conditions at UNLV. Niners are not happy about their practice field whatsoever. I guess the practice field is very soft, and the Niners prefer a more hardened field, which is a little bogus. I know the Niners or the NFL actually asked Kansas City to change their schedule so that the Niners could use their practice field, and they declined, rightfully so. Like, if roles were reversed in this, like, I wouldn't want the Niners to help the Chiefs out and practice at their stadium. So, like, I get it. But at the same time, a lot of people don't remember this, but in 2012, going in, the Ravens were practicing at a field that was pretty bad also, and the Niners obviously were practicing at Mercedes-Benz and using the Saints practice facility. But the Niners actually let the Ravens use their practice field, which I thought was a good gesture. Now, obviously, that was when Jim Harbaugh was the head coach, and he was also playing his brother John Harbaugh, so there may have been a little bit of brotherly love there. But, no, I mean, I get it. Like, why would, if you're the Chiefs, why would you let us use your field? I completely understand. But at the same time, I also think it's pretty bullshit that the NFL, like, isn't really doing that much to help the field out or anything like that. I know the NFL, there's a couple options that the Niners could have done to kind of make this field better. Like, I think they were going to add, I'm pretty sure they added grass on top of the turf. That was the Niners' decision, though. But the NFL has listed a couple of things that the Niners could do. And if the NFL really wanted to, like, they could force the Chiefs to switch their schedule up so that the Niners could use the Raiders' practice facility like the Chiefs are currently. But Kyle Shanahan actually was asked about that last night to the media, and he basically said, like, we're going to be fine. Like, we're not stressing over it that much, which why would they be, man? At the end of the day, like, this team's going to come ready to play. It doesn't matter how bad of a condition a practice field is. Like, this team's going to come ready. Even though I do think it's a little shady that, the NFL has us practicing at UNLV. I get it, though, because we're the away team. The Chiefs are the home team. It switches every year when it comes to that, like being able to practice at an NFL facility. Like, one team's got to practice somewhere else, and it's typically like a college facility, college football facility or something like that. But, yeah, like, Kyle Shanahan's not bothered. He basically said, like, we're going to be good. It's not that big of a deal, pretty much, which rightfully so. Like, it's not that big of a deal. It is a little bogus, like I said, but whatever, man. But yeah, Brock Purdy, obviously, and Mahomes both spoke to the media. Kansas City, like I said, the Chiefs were getting booed. Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes in particular were getting booed, and they actually they ended up having some choice words for the Niner fans when they were booing. They basically said, like, we're going to be ready. We love hearing that, this and that. We're here. Chris Hansen actually asked Brock Purdy if he was prepared to disappoint Taylor Swift. And rightfully so, Brock Purdy responded with yes, with Patrick Mahomes sitting right beside him. So friendly, back and forth there between some Chiefs and Niners fans, or some Chiefs and Niners players. But no, man, I think everybody spoke great at opening night, rightfully so. Like, I think this team, you can tell there's a different vibe to this current team than there was in 2020, and hopefully praying that the outcome is different. But again, man, like, this team's going to come ready to play without a doubt. Like, this third time's a charm, man. They got to go out and get the job done, but obviously a lot of more preparation over these next 5 days. A lot of more practices over these next 5 days to kind of get ready for the Super Bowl, but can't come quick enough, man. Cannot come quick enough. Yeah, like I said, I thought all the players spoke well. Loved what Kyle had to say. Loved the pro 49ers crowd last night. They were also chanting Purdy when Purdy spoke on stage, and obviously, like I said, booed Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid when they spoke. So seemed like there's a lot of Niners fans there. Loved what the players had to say last night. Yeah, man, I'm pumped. I cannot wait. I know Chase Young was actually interviewed by a reporter, and he was asked about the lack of defensive effort over the past 2 games, and he said, we can't have that, and I can't have that. So I think that the point got across to Chase Young in terms of his lack of effort. And again, it wasn't only him. Like, there was a lot of players that were showing a lack of effort in that NFC Championship game. But, yeah, I think the point got across to the team. Like, that lack of effort stuff's gotta stop. Like, we can't have that, in the Super Bowl. So expect this defense to be, on one coming out in the Super Bowl. We need 4 quarters of motor from every single player on the offense and the defense. But yeah, man, 5 days away from the Super Bowl. Cannot wait. But another thing to kind of touch on the 49ers practice field. Michael Lombardi actually spoke with Pat McAfee today about, the 49ers having the field issue. And he actually doubled down and basically said that, like, they're going to stay there. They're not going to, like, try to go somewhere else to practice. It's not that big of a deal. So, again, it's pretty unfortunate that we have to practice there and that the field is bad, whatever. And it really wouldn't even be that big of a deal if the field was in somewhat good shape. But from what it's being reported on, from what's kind of out there right now, it seems pretty bad. So, again, though, I wouldn't expect that to have any effect on this game. Like, this team's going to come ready to play. So, yeah, man, with that being said, though, obviously let me know your guys' thoughts of opening night, Super Bowl opening night last night. Let me know your guys' thoughts about this Kyle Shanahan stuff, too, about him, potentially showing up a little sauced. I love it. I think it's great. I honestly have a little bit more confidence going into this game now because, again, it just tells me Kyle Shanahan's a little more loose, confident, calm. He's ready to rock and roll. So, yeah, let me know your guys' thoughts about opening night, though, in the comments down below. And I'll see you guys in the next one.